Hey, how you doing, Facebook family? Jeanne Ives here. Just wanted to comment on this Madigan trial that's unfolding right now. I I gotta tell you, I've been reading the Chicago Tribune article. It's alarming. I mean, the things that these people are saying was an open secret, or not even a secret, when I was in Springfield. So they had three legislators, Democrat legislators, Madigan's, right-hand man, even Lou Lang, up on there testifying. So it was Lou Lang, longtime Madigan confidant and friend. It was Carol Sente, who is this Vernon Hills state legislator. She was there when I was there. She was there maybe a couple years more than I, so maybe 6 or 8 years she spent there. Then there was Scott Drury. Scott Drury was there just for 6 years as well, and then he left. I mean, it's unbelievable what they're saying. So you've got Lou Lang up there, essentially saying that, they're accusing him that, actually they got Lou Lang on tape. And, apparently he said, I wouldn't do anything to damage my speaker or my caucus. He's been very good to me. So this was a phone call that came from, the other guy, McLean, who's up on trial as well. And, and then Lou Lang basically says he's actually was the third witness that was called. This is according to the Chicago Tribune article. And he said that he got this call and it was very clear that there had been a decision made by the speaker that I was not going to move up in the ranks, he said. And he said instead of being sent back to the Stratton building, that would be an insult to his 30-year career. He also thought that if he resigned, the speaker would show his appreciation in some way and use his talents some way in the future. So Lang ended up resigning, and he ended up resigning because there was a little bit of a hashtag Me Too issue with him. So Madigan gives the call to McLean. McLean calls Lang and says, hey, you pretty much should go away. And so he does. But I mean, Lou Lang was his top guy down there. You couldn't get anything done in Lou Lang's, actually, in any of these committees. Mike Madigan controlled everything. And then Carol Sente went in and basically said that. She said, look, I couldn't get a bill passed unless Madigan approved. I couldn't get an amendment made unless he approved it. If I had an amendment that he approved, then I could get my bill crossed. I mean, everybody knew this. Why is this? I don't even know why they're up on the stand. Everybody knew this is how it worked. Every lobbyist knew this is how it worked. I mean, the Republicans knew this is how it was worked. I remember my very first bill. I went over to the Democrat chairman of the committee. I said, hey, I was wondering if I could run my bill, super excited about this. He's like, well, I was told to kill your bill, but since I like you, I'll at least give it a hearing. I mean, really, don't do me any favors, okay? But fine. But that's exactly what he told to me. Brand new legislator, great bill. It was, by the way, it was about transparency in union contracts. Oh, we don't want that, do we? We don't want the public to know ahead of time what's being discussed when they're going to spend millions of taxpayer money. Oh, no, we can't have that. But you know what? I was told to kill your bill, but since I like you, I'll let you have a hearing. Okay. Well, that was Madigan. That was Madigan saying who gets what. I also remember freshman year, I went over to a legislator, said, hey, I've got this great bill. I think it's bipartisan and just, good government stuff. Would you mind, looking at my bill? Can I get your vote on it or your support? Would you like me to say it? She's like, well, what's the bill number? She pulls out her black book. I'm not kidding you. Her binder, flips through and says, oh, I can't vote for that. They have a book what they can and cannot vote for. The other interesting thing is that I picked up on, and I don't know if everybody else picked up on, but Carol Sente was one of a very prominent, respected, sort of considered a moderate Democrat down there. Oh, she's about business and she's about this. She's not really, by the way. None of them are. They all bought into Madigan. They all voted for him for speaker. They all took his money, in some cases in Sente's race, against our former comptroller, Leslie Munger, millions of dollars to win that race, millions from Madigan. So they're all part of the party. And yet none of them can walk into Madigan's office and just see her. In fact, she relays in this article, this Chicago Tribune article, that she approached Mike Madigan on the House floor to discuss her bill. She didn't go behind closed doors to discuss it. They have to make an appointment to see him. They don't just get to go and approach him. And Madigan was almost never on the House floor, almost never. He would come out occasionally for to make a final speech or to vote on a controversial issue, or if he were actually leading the lead sponsor on an issue like he was for the 2013 pension bill. But I mean, I find it just, I don't know why they're even on the stand. This is all, you could ask anybody. Everybody knew Madigan controlled literally every decision. Scott Drury is up there testifying too about, oh, he didn't give me a speakership in my third term because there was bad blood between us, and I was going to run against him, or I tried to run against him, or get other people to run against him. And so Drury is famous for not getting the crystal clock. You see, the moment that Speaker Madigan became the longest serving speaker in the entire United States, he gave everybody who voted for him a crystal clock, and it was said, thanks for making me the longest serving speaker in the United States. And Scott Drury voted against Madigan. He abstained. He voted present. He did not vote for Madigan, so he didn't get the clock that year. And so that became a big scuttlebutt. Eventually, Drury ends up leaving the state house, and that there it goes on. There's Ken Duncan case where Mike Madigan ran. Juliana Stratton, our current lieutenant governor, Ken Duncan would not come back to take a vote when we were in summer session. It was about a big union vote, and Madigan only had the bare majority to get a bill passed that was pro-union, and just would stick a sword in Governor Pritzker, or Governor Rauner at that time. And Ken Duncan stayed away. So Madigan did not have enough votes to pass that union bill. Well, what did he do? He put Juliana Stratton up against Ken Duncan. And then he brought in Barack Obama, the sitting president at that time, who did a commercial in a house race to help her win. That's how Madigan plays. He went after Ken Duncan in that way. I mean, this guy, he only cared about power. That's it. And so now we're having this big trial about his power. Well, he's the most powerful. He is the most powerful. And by the way, some of that legacy power is still sitting around. Chris Welch, he can't wield the same amount of power, but he's learned a lot of tricks from Madigan. And so you've had like just nonsense bills that are showing up on the House floor. In fact, today they had a bill about, declawing your cat. They have removed, you are prohibited now from declawing your cat, because they passed legislation saying that that's cruel and you can't do that to cats. And there was no extenuating circumstances that would even qualify for you to declaw a cat. So, that's what they're working on. No pension reform, no property tax reform, nothing. Pritzker's been talking about cutting our taxes. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. So, anyway, it's very interesting to me to kind of listen and find out what's going on in this show trial, this trial about Madigan, because all this was, all known right now that we see. Was known. I wonder what other stuff that they have. We'll see what other legislators they trot out. But make no mistake about it, every one of these Democrats who are now like, oh, he was so powerful and I couldn't do anything. They played the damn game with him. They played the game. Same with most of those legislators that are down there right now. They play the game. They play the game with the Democrat Party. They play the game with the very powerful unions, the firefighters unions, the teachers unions. They are playing the game, and the game is played against you. Thanks for joining me on this Facebook Live.